Yeah, welcome back. If you're just joining us, this is Impact Dialogues with me, Ruth Wanjiru. We apologize for that short technical hitch, but we are back and we are speaking to Miss Mudhoni Njoroge. She is a personal branding expert and they call her the LinkedIn Lioness. And but before that short technical hitch break, she was explaining to us the importance of personal branding and I think tulikuwa tumefika some of the mistakes that we do when it comes to branding ourselves online. And I did ask, you've said that you should share your story. Let your story be you. Your story now is one of the mistakes people do online. Repeat stories. I've seen you posted this. And it has done very well. It has trended very well. I want to do the same thing. Is that one of the mistakes that we do unknowingly?
Yes, and especially if you're not sharing your story. Emulating is okay, but copying, no. Like if you see me sharing my story of my journey in college, yeah, you can also share how your college experience was. Yeah, that's not copying, that's emulating. Yeah, but now copying someone else completely, like copy pasting, no, that's wrong. Another mistake, now we are going to mistakes, right? It's being too vague.
Too vague.
Yeah, too vague. Once again, appeal to the audience of one. Don't appeal to everyone, right? Most people also, their headlines, their LinkedIn profiles, it's too crowded. You're a jack of all trades. Why? Even the president has only one
One role.
one role.
Yeah.
So why do you have 20 or even more, right? So have focus, because actually focus attracts attention, and the right attention will actually breed opportunities. So only one audience.
Only one audience.
Yes.
And you've mentioned something about being a jack of all trades. Now, we have this perception that if I say, let me take an example of in the media. If I say I'm a photographer, I'm a videographer, I'm a news anchor, I am this news reporter, this and this and this. Now, will this minimize my chances of, having a genuine brand?
Yes, it will. So it's good to have all these skills. Yeah, we are all multi-skilled.
Yeah.
We have to be, right? I mean, in today's era, you need to be multi-skilled.
Okay.
However, just market one that you're really good at. I know, Ruth, that there's that one skill. Even when I wake you up at 3 a.m., you will do it with your whole heart, or even at midnight, right? So there's that one skill. But then your profile, of course, in the about section, you can talk about all the other skills and how you've been able to use them in your experiences section, right? Even in your post, how you're able to solve a certain problem with other skills, right? But there's that one core skill. That is what I want you to market fully. Yeah.
Yeah, that is on personal branding. Number one, have your niche. Just have something that is unique in the crowded, because I think when it comes to especially online branding, it is too crowded. It is a way too crowded. If you start copying or you're emulating too much, then as Mudhoni says, you might be missing on the opportunities out there. Now, Mudhoni, let's get to corporate branding. Now, what is the difference really between personal branding and corporate branding?
Great question. A corporate brand, a corporate brand definitely encompasses brand's mission, the organization's mission, values, as well as vision. But a personal brand, it's individual story, style, tone, and even voice, right? So when you talk about corporate branding here, we are talking about the company just ensuring that it's communicating its values, its goals, its vision, its mission, and how it actually supports its workforce.
Okay.
Right.
And when it comes to corporate branding, how important it is, me as a company, I have this company and I really want this company to do well. How important is it to make sure that I am branding it out there and branding it in the right way?
It is very important. Why human connection, right? We need to understand why does it matter for us to follow you? Why does it matter for us to even know you, that you exist, right? So human connection, that we know your vision, we know your mission, we know even the problem that you're solving, the values you have for the company, the values you have also for the society. How valuable are you to the society? Yeah. And why do you actually exist? Another one has to be unified values. Now here we are talking about unifying the values of the organization together with its workforce, right? So you need to let your employees know, right? That is your workforce, why it is important to understand the corporate brand, so that even when they serve the customer, when they actually interact with stakeholders, there's that unification, right? And there's that cohesion happening.
Now, you've spoken to us about personal branding first, and now this is me having my company here. How do I make sure that all these are balanced? That as much as I'm building my personal branding, I'm not leaving my company behind, or I'm not branding the company najisahau, because I do believe that you as the CEO or you as the founder of the company, you have to be the outlook of the company. How do I make sure that I'm balancing these two?
Great question. Having a clear mission, right? And communicating it, because having that communication, it sends a clear message, and clarity is everything. And you need to balance the two, personal branding and corporate branding. I am a founder myself, and I'm not gonna lie, it's not easy, right? My corporate branding has lagged a bit behind, and that's because I understand that human connection is very important. People resonate with humans, not companies. Even when you look at Microsoft, one thing I love to follow is the big brands. Microsoft, Google, they will follow the CEO more than the company. When the CEO makes an announcement, people will react, people will engage with it, unlike the organization, right? There will be that decline. Why? Because they know that's a social media manager running the page, but this is actually the CEO, and whatever he says, we will actually get to follow, right? So it's very important. Consistency also in identity, your visuals, your brand, right? Ensure that people actually understand these are the colors of the corporate, of the organization rather, and also the values of it, and communicate it visually, now through even infographics. Any ad or any format that you put out there, make sure that they actually align with the organization. And then finally, of course, customer-centric approach. Ensure that the customers really do understand that this is the brand's mission, vision, values, and image. We have so many great organizations here in Kenya who are great at branding. I'm not going to mention them. And they've done a really great job. So ensure that stakeholders and the end customer really does understand what the corporate is doing and what the brand is all about.
And you've spoken about branding your company in your company colors.
Yes.
So why is this important? Why not just have a million colors for the company? This year we decide it's blue, next year maybe we decide it's red. Why is it important to like stay with one color consistently?
Identity.
It's
as simple as that. That when I see a color, where even when I see an ad, a billboard, and I just pass it by, I know that's that organization, right? A great example is Safaricom. It hasn't changed over the years. I mean, look at the number of years they've been in business. Coca-Cola is also a great example, right? Decades, right? They've been in the industry for decades. So identity is very important, because the end consumer, you wouldn't want to tune them out, because when you keep on changing, you'll tune them out, and you lose money. That's losing sales. That is losing revenue.
Let's talk about you as a company having an online presence. Now, I've done all these. I have my company colors, I have a clear vision, I have a clear mission, but at some point my company is just not doing well when it comes to presenting it out there. What really would be the problem, or what don't company look at when it comes to having a strong online presence?
Great question. Company page is it optimized? Yes, those are some of the questions you need to do. You need to do more of a corporate brand audit. We have a personal brand audit, and we also have a corporate brand audit. So look at the profiles. Look at also the colors. Are you actually happy with the colors that you chose? Yeah, and what do they represent? Because there's also a color psychology.
Okay.
I actually work with a graphic designer who understands color psychology. So each and every color matters, both in personal branding and corporate branding. Green, when it comes to personal branding, has a different message, while unlike green in a company.
In a company, okay.
Yes, so you need to also understand the difference. And then we have, of course, now getting to, once you see now the page, back to the optimization, optimizing the page, messaging. How is your messaging? You need to actually have a clear message. Clarity is everything. And use just simple vocabulary, simple language in all matters. We don't need to see ambiguous words because we will think too much. You're making us think too much.
You're taking us far.
The end consumer or the person who wants to associate with your brand doesn't want to think too much. So make it easier, right? Just a clear message that we are able to understand. I've covered on visuals. So the next thing will be promote now thought leadership, educate, inspire, as well as inform, right? So inspire, share with us your journey, how you started the company, right? Actually, what is the company doing when it comes to CSR, right? So also a bit of PR definitely comes into play. We are also talking about teaching. Teach your end consumer or your client why it's important to solve that problem that your company is solving, right? And finally, inform. When something new happens, let us know. How has AI affected your organization? Or even the industry as a whole, and also the end consumer, how are they getting affected? So information is powerful. So inform, be the first one to inform. Don't wait for others to inform.
That is interesting. I'm hoping that you back at home, you're learning something. You might be you might be the new CEO in town or the new founder in town, and you do not know why your business is not picking up when it comes to, you know, online presence. And as Mudoni says, what is your company doing? Actually, what has caught my eye is the CSR part. What is your company doing to the society? Because if it's not serving the society, then it's probably not aligning well with what you're doing. And I love the fact that we've spoken about corporate branding, Mudoni, because normally we see companies come, you've opened your company, you've launched it, then it goes for a while and then inaanguka, and you wonder why inaanguka. Unapata my company is doing very well physically, but when it comes to online, I am unable to command an online presence. And I think your pointers, having visuals, they are really going to help someone back at home. Remember that we are also live on YouTube, the Oracle Television Network. If you have any questions for Mudoni when it comes to personal branding, when it comes to corporate branding, we are also going to be speaking about your professional outlook. How do you look good for your company? How do you look good for your brand? We're also going to be speaking about that, but I want to take a minute to remind you that it is our Partners Week. This is a week where we just celebrate you for being the perfect Oracle TV partner, for being our viewer. It is our first week of the month, so it is just a reminder, it is our Partners Week. Remember that in this week, you get a chance to partner with us via our pay bills. We're going to be giving you those pay bills much later, and also via our OTV products. I'm going to speak about that before we end the show as well. And Mudoni, I want us to look into professional outlook. First of all, when we say professional outlook, what should someone think of?
Definitely your appearance.
Your appearance.
Yeah. Because image also includes appearance. So first impressions count. So when you talk of appearance, just always know first impressions count. People do judge the book by its cover.
So it's a lie. Do not judge a book by its cover. It's a lie.
It's a lie. And especially in professional spaces, when you go to networking events, how you show up before you even speak a word, we already know who you are, right? It speaks volumes.
Yeah. So what they used to tell us back then is really true. Then you're judged according to how you appear, like my first impression of you. And when it comes to personal branding and also corporate branding, I am very sure that a professional outlook has some role to, in fact, has a very big role to play in it. Maybe what role does it play when it comes to branding? Let's start with personal branding.
Sorry, I didn't get your question.
Well, when it comes to personal branding, how much of a role does a professional outlook has to play?
Oh, it plays a lot because your attire and grooming reflect how people should respect you, approach you, right? Speak to you, right? And so once again, first impressions matter. It also boosts your confidence because now you're able to share about your company. If you're there representing your organization, you're able to share about your company. You're able to leave a lasting impression. So it's not just about creating a great first impression. It's also about leaving a lasting impression because I want someone to remember, of course, it's the lady in red. I want to remember, of course, it's the lady with the African print. Yeah, that there's something about your style. So it's all about how you present yourself. So find a unique way to style yourself. Is it through colors? For me, it's brand colors. I go with black, red, and white, right? So is it also patterns? We have those people who love prints, the different cheetah prints. We also have African patterns, right? So get to understand what actually represents you, your values and goals, and lean towards it.
Your value and goals and lean towards it. And when it comes to really looking good for your business, because I believe that professional outlook is just looking good for your brand, looking good for your business. What are some of the key factors that you're supposed to note so that you don't go wrong? You know, you might be thinking that maybe these colors work for me, but then again, the brand is for people out there. So what are some of these pointers that we should look at to make sure that you get it right?
For once, write down your values. Like, what exactly do you stand for? Yeah. Is it competence, delivery of work? Is it now in terms of work ethics? Also in terms of personality, are you bubbly? Are you friendly? Are you an extrovert? Are you an introvert? These are some of the things you get to look into so that you can be able to now build that brand. And of course, outward of it, now get to think deeper. What do you want to be known for? Right? When you walk into a room, what is the impression you want to leave? Yeah, you want for people first to achieve and then finally leave. I want you to be unforgettable. That is what I want each and every of my clients to be, both online and offline, because personal branding is not just online, it's also offline. So I want you to be unforgettable whenever you interact with people. How do you introduce yourself? How do you speak to them? How do you carry out conversations, right? Do you know there are actually people who are known for just their vocabulary?
I think we can note some. Yes.
Vocabulary. And it's not just ambiguous words, it's even just how they articulate themselves. There's also those people who are known as articulation, eloquence, right? So it's not just even about dressing. How you also portray yourself and articulate your ideas and your thoughts and your knowledge. Because you could be having so much knowledge, but you do not know how to actually articulate yourself. So it's good to communicate that. Yeah.
And apart from dressing, apart from having the right dress at the right time at the right event, how much does speaking, or you've spoken about eloquency, articulation, how much do these things affect your professional outlook?
Hugely, of course, hugely, because I mean, when you think about the professional spaces, interviews, right? Even like just, I don't mean just a job interview, even a TV interview, networking, yeah. So how you associate yourself, interpersonal skills, associating yourself with people, socializing, and just being known for that. Like you will leave a lasting impression, and you will also make people feel welcomed, and you're just, you're not a snob. You always just allow people to approach you. You're approachable, and you actually are able to have great conversations with anyone, regardless of their ranks. Be it someone, be it even the watchman, be it the CEO. You're able to have conversations, and you're also able to just be human. It's also about just being human, and that kindness really also leaves a lasting impression. So all those nitty-gritties really do make a personal brand.
Amazing. That is interesting. That is on professional outlook. And most of us are told that you are dressed according to how you are addressed, according to how you are dressed. And some of us actually think that that is a joke, or it's just someone trying to pull your ear from the other side. But as Mudhoni says, the first impression that you give your client, is it an interview? Is it in a networking event, which you're going to speak about in just as well, by the way, about networking events? How important a networking event when it comes to branding your company and branding your personal brand? But first of all, I want to pick a few questions. I don't know if we have any. If you have any question for Miss Mudhoni, you might want to know how to brand your company, how to do self-branding. I've seen one on online branding. Let me check on that. Yeah. Hello, I'm David watching from Dandora. I've been trying to have a strong, just a minute. Yeah, I've been trying to have a strong online presence, but sijawahi pata. Shida yangu iko wapi?
Oh wow, positioning.
Positioning.
Yeah,
Okay.
positioning. That's actually my big word for this year. Be in the right place at the right time, and even in the and that also serves online. So even online, be at the right place at the right time. Join online communities.
Okay.
Yeah, just position yourself for that visibility. Now, also when it comes to thought leadership, I call content creation thought leadership. That is on LinkedIn.
Okay.
Because LinkedIn doesn't want to call ourselves. They don't want us to call ourselves content creators. We are thought leaders. Because when you think of someone like Tony Elumelu, Vusi Thembekwayo, these are not content creators. These are thought leaders, as well as top voices. So position yourself clearly, right? Talk to the audience of one. Yeah, know your focus and just go for it. Basically, be very aggressive, be active, yeah, engage with people. Remember, at the core of it all, it's all about engagement, because those opportunities won't find you just, you seated there. You need to also engage, or just you posting and ghosting. Yeah, you also need to engage. So position yourself very well, both online and offline. Now offline networking. And I love the topic of networking because relationships are a core. Yeah, they're actually the newest currency. For you to be able to attract opportunities, for you to be able to move up the career ladder, you need to build relationships. And that's because opportunities often rise through people you know. Yeah. So who do you know who actually also knows you? So build your influence on LinkedIn, or rather on social media. And then when it comes to networking, build relationships. Yeah. I always go to at least 2 events per month, 2 networking events in my industry per month. And that's because I know there's power in just being on the ground. I mean, look at what politicians do.
That's true. They're always everywhere.
They're always on the ground. And that's because that's where the audience is. Yeah. So you cannot just be online and then you just think, I think I'm good. No.
I'm good to go.
You're good to go.
When we speak about networking, I think a lot of people really do ignore it, or rather really do find it not important at all.
Yes.
But when it comes to, let me go to corporate branding, making networks for your company. If I, as a CEO or as a founder, I am not taking networking seriously, how much do I stand to lose, Mudhoni?
So much, a lot. And let me just correct you there. When you go to these networking events, go represent your brand, because we need first to be sold by you before we be sold by the company. By the company, okay. Right? Because you are the visionary person. Yeah, so sell your brand, and then you'll definitely incorporate your company, because once I get to like you, I get to know you and like you, I'll definitely be interested to know you further. I'll definitely be interested to know how many companies does Ruth, run. Yeah, so carry yourself very well, have a proper image, package yourself, position yourself. And when you go to these networking events, now sell your company. And so for sure, if you don't position yourself, if you don't brand yourself, your company will lose revenue, I mean sales, right? So even as much as you tell, perhaps if you have a workforce, you tell them to brand themselves and all, you carry the vision of the company, right? So if the visionary is not looking good, then how will the vision we can't actually fulfill the vision. And someone back at home is saying that I have tried to find these networking events, mimi sipatangi. How do I make sure that I'm
going to the right networking events, networking with the right people, networking with the right audience. How do I do that?
First of all, social media should be your best friend. Yeah, whichever platform. But you can always start with LinkedIn. It's a professional space. Follow the right people, follow the top voices in your industry, globally as well as regionally and locally, right? Once you get to follow them, definitely you will see so many events, right? Individuals like myself, I do have events, and so many other people, not just companies, right? You know, when people think of events, they'll just think of companies,
that's
right?
true.
But right now, so many individuals, and I mean top voices, who've been able to command authority in their spaces and become go-to experts. Like myself, we do have events, right? And so those are the events to go to. So being very active on social media will really help. Even just on Instagram, like once the algorithm, it also depends with how, with what you're searching and what your FYP is, right? So for me on Instagram, it's all about professional careers. And so I see so many events. I will see like even up to 10 events in a day, right? It's all because that's what I've been able to attract, and that's what I'm aiming for.
So what you're saying is, so branding has to do with you living it, because if you're also on social media, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, you have to be looking for things that align to you and what you're doing. Because as Modoni says, by the way, the algorithm of WhatsApp, of Facebook, TikTok, Instagram actually brings you what you look for. So for someone who's looking for networking events and you're not getting them, what are you viewing? Ni nini hiyo unaangalia? I have another question here, Mudhoni. She's saying, hello, my name is Mercy from Kangemi, loving the conversation. Help me ask Mudhoni, how do I know my right audience?
Oh, wow, great question. So here we're going to do a personal brand audit. So first of all, what are you good at? What is your core skill? Yeah. So get to know your core skill. After your core skill, okay, we can have core skills. So just 3. But out of the 3, there has to be that top. There's only that one top. That is what you'll be known for. So from there, get now to understand your strengths. Yeah, we are looking at 3 to 5 strengths, as well as your weaknesses, areas that you need to improve on. And here, when I say weaknesses, I mean of in terms of values, or even just minor skills that actually do add up to these core skills, right? So that you need to improve on. Then from there, now get to understand, what do you want to be known for? Yeah, because out of these skills, I know there are different kind of professions. So what do you want to be known for? Who do you, what type of a go-to expert do you want to be, right? Then from there, now let's go into your associates. Approach 3 to 5 colleagues. Ask them, when you introduce me to people, or when you have conversations and my name comes up, how do you get to describe me, right? So how do they describe you to their professional friends, or just in professional circles, right? So once you understand that, if you see that there's no cohesion, there's no alignment, your messaging is definitely wrong, and there's definitely some work to be done. So now you get to understand, okay, so this is what I'm being known for out there. And now this is what I want to be known for. So how do I align my message, right? So here now get to understand your personal brand pillars, and also know your content pillars, what you will be talking about, even in terms of being offline in conversations, right? You need to also learn how to have conversations, and learn how you want to you want to leave that person thinking about you, or just, you know, having that unforgettable experience, that they will know you for that thing, right? And so now from there, you'll now get to understand, this is my audience. So I will be speaking to business owners. I will be speaking to corporates, you know, the corporate professionals. I'll be speaking to executives, right? Interns, young professionals, whichever industry that you're in, you will now get to understand, this is my audience, right? And now even once you get to understand this is your audience, you will get to know, this is the problem that I'm going to be solving, yeah? So, and I'm okay with solving this problem. I'm not even okay, I'm confident in solving
the problem.
Yes, and adding real value to them.
Yeah, that's interesting. Mercy, I'm hoping that you've been answered. We are running out of time, and I really would would like Mudhoni to speak to us about rebranding. Now, she's told us about branding, how you can brand your company, how you can brand yourself. But maybe my brand failed. How do I just come back? Just rebrand and come back and make it work, because it failed. Maybe there are some online things I didn't do. Maybe there are a few mistakes that we've spoken about that I was caught in between them. Maybe I didn't understand my audience, but now I want to come back. How do I rebrand myself?
Amazing, amazing. Interestingly, I rebranded myself this year. Yes, and that's because I'm just adding on to it. So it's not just those who are maybe, confused or, they're finding their way. There are those also who want to add on to their portfolio. And so rebranding is really amazing. Please don't think that people aren't going to understand. It's all about how you communicate. So first of all, you need to reassess your goals. Definitely your goals will have changed. What you want to be known for in 2 years, 3 years, 5 years time will have changed. So now reassess your goals and now get to be clear about who you want to be and why. Why do you want to be this person? Right? Is it because of the opportunities? Is it because now these are your strengths? Is it because now this is something like you've been able to learn? Right? Number 2, communicate the shift. Like, communicate the shift, make it big, make the rebrand big, and continue to speak about it for at least even a month. Keep reminding people, because people forget until it sticks to our mind
that you've rebranded.
Yeah, it will take some time. So communicate the shift, publicly share your rebrand by reintroducing yourself, right? Also in terms of the visuals, the visualization, that is the infographics, the designs, right? Be able to showcase that. If you can go live, right? And even if you're interviewing someone, also remind people that you've rebranded, right? So take every opportunity to communicate. Then finally, just stay patient and be persistent. Yeah. So here, rebranding, of course, will take time, but the effort is worth it. So just be patient and keep reminding people, and now just remain focused. Yeah, know your audience. Don't be tempted to go back, right? Just know your focus and just maintain that focus, because as well, personal branding will always take time. So just be patient.
Yeah, that is amazing. Just be patient. I have patience because patience, one thing that we lack as human beings is patience.
Oh, yes.
And sometimes you find that you try to work on something, it doesn't work. Number 1, number 2, number 3, you just like, I'm just tired of this.
Especially Kenyans.
I don't know where we have that tendency, but be patient. Make sure that you let us know that you rebranded. Let us know that you are there. And maybe Mudhoni, when announcing to the world that I'm rebranding, is there an importance of letting them know why I rebranded?
Yes, it is. Yeah, communicate the why. Yeah, is it because you've upskilled? Is it because you got a degree, a master's, a PhD? Life happened, right? You never know. Whatever happened, you lost a job, you got you became redundant. So communicate the why. Is it because of life circumstances, career circumstances? It's really important, because we need to resonate. Once again, if you don't communicate the why, we'll actually see you a jack of all trades.
A jack of all trades again. We are going back there, where you don't have a specific something that you're doing. I mean, this has been a very interesting conversations, and I think the last question I want us to tackle is on specific habits to be doing daily, to make sure that my corporate brand is working, my personal brand is moving on, my professional outlook is out there. People are perceiving my brand in the right way, people are perceiving my company in the right way, people are perceiving me as a person in the right way, because as Mudhoni has told us that if the vision carrier is not doing work on themselves, then the vision probably, the odds of the vision being fulfilled are very low. But Mudhoni, what are some of these specific, daily habits, or some of the things that someone should do to make sure that you get all these things right?
Yes, for sure. let's start with online.
Yeah, online.
Engage consistently.
Okay.
So don't post and ghost, right?
Don't post and ghost. Yeah, I think
Yes.
most of us have a problem with that. We just post one thing. Maybe you've decided to be selling perfumes online. You just post today. The next time you're seeing you is 3 months later.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't post and ghost.
Yes. So here we're talking of just spend 15 minutes.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So if you're very active when it comes to posting,
Okay.
warm up the feed. There's actually power in warming up the feed. So 15 minutes before you post, warm up the feed, comment on other people's posts, and then 15 minutes after. If you have the time, you can do half an hour. Afterwards, now when it comes to also, once the comments start streaming in, if you can reply live, that is really good. Because let me go back to the perfume page. I love that we are now talking of business pages. That's a customer who's ready to buy.
That's true.
So when you reply to them live and even go to their DM, start a conversation with them, it will be really amazing. You can close a sale then. Yeah. Now when it comes to your personal brand, when you start replying to them immediately, you can go to the DM and also just build a rapport. Yeah, build a relationship, and you never know where that will lead. Right? Just that show of kindness goes a long way, because now I'm able to connect with you. Yeah, I won't scroll once I see your post tomorrow. I mean the other day, yeah. So a few days later. So just engage with people. Secondly, stay updated.
Stay updated.
Yes. So keep learning about what you're doing, about your journey, your industry as well. Once again, remember, be the first one to inform. Don't wait for your competitors or any other person to inform. Be the first one to inform. Why? Because your audience will understand that you're always up to date.
Okay.
Yeah, with the trends, with what's happening. Yeah. So address things, be creative, and inform people. And finally, reflect on your goals. So here, align your content with your messaging. Be very clear. Use simple vocabulary, simple language. Yeah. Make it easier for the end consumer, and that is now your audience, to consume content easily, right? So unless you're a lawyer and you want to bombard us with some jargons there, but explaining, of course, please don't. Yeah.
That's amazing. I think my favorite one is stay updated. Stay updated. And staying updated is not only for people who love online. If you have that business, what are people selling perfume doing? What are they posting on their pages?
Yes.
What are the new perfume companies that are coming? What is it that you're supposed to do differently? I mean, this has been an amazing conversation. Thank you so much for everyone who has joined us. On YouTube, I can see we are also having a few people on YouTube. I don't know if we have questions, but I can see someone is saying he is learning from his mentor. Yeah, that is Karen, or she. In common Karanja, and then I thought it was a he, but it's a she. Karen is saying that is amazing learning from a mentor. Of course, that is a Mudhoni. In case you forgot, let me remind you who she is. She is a LinkedIn expert and also an international personality. But before we give Mudhoni her parting shot, Mudhoni, maybe we tackle this for the last part of the conversation. So online, personal branding, corporate branding, professional outlook. How do all these align?
Yes, they align because identity is very important. Yeah, being known out there, showcasing your visibility, building an influence is very important. And of course, overall, commanding authority in your space, in your industry, in your company. Because as a visionary person, as the visionary of the organization, if you do not command authority in your own company, how will you command authority online? Yeah. So you need to command authority in terms of your space, that let people know that you are very knowledgeable and you know your expertise, yeah, like at the back of your hand. And definitely once you command it, the opportunities will align.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Mudhoni, for joining us. This has been the Impact Dialogues. But before we leave and before we speak about our Partners Week, I would like Mudhoni to give us her parting shot as we come to a close of this conversation.
Thank you so much for having me, first of all.
Favorite program, it might be Word Fest, it might be Gospel Reflex, it might be Woman Without Excuse. Whichever program you like, you can get to advertise, to sponsor it as well, and also